If you're a landlord, you know tenant turnover is just part of the deal. But what if I told you it's costing you way, way more than you think? We're about to pull back the curtain on a hidden financial drain that quietly eats your profits alive. And more importantly, we're going to show you exactly how to stop it. So let's just start with a statement that should be a real gut punch. And look, this isn't some scare tactic or an exaggeration. For a lot of property owners, this is the cold, hard financial reality. Losing one tenant isn't just a hassle. It can literally wipe out the entire profit you were going to make on that unit for the whole year. So what does that look like in actual dollars? Well, on average, a single solitary turnover can easily punch a $3,750 hole in your finances. And that's just the immediate out-of-pocket hit. We haven't even touched on the less obvious costs yet. And here's where that number comes from, because it's so much more than just the $2,000 in lost rent. You've got to factor in the utilities and insurance you're suddenly paying for again, not to mention all the marketing and the actual labor to get that unit rent ready. When you see it all laid out like this, yeah, the true cost starts to become painfully clear. This slow, quiet, creeping loss, this is what we call the daily bleed. Think of it like a death by 1,000 paper cuts for your business. It's this constant drain that you can feel, but you can't always pinpoint. It's made up of all those little things, a few weeks of vacancy, wasted time, unplanned repairs, that all add up to one major financial wound. All right, so where is all this money actually going? Let's get into it and uncover the 4 main leaks that are causing all this operational chaos. These are the hidden culprits behind that daily bleed we were just talking about. Okay, I want you to picture your business as a big bucket holding all your cash flow. Right now, you've got 4 distinct leaks. The first is vacancy loss. That's the obvious one. Then you've got labor waste, all the time you or your team are scrambling on unplanned work. Third is maintenance waste, paying way too much for last-minute emergency repairs. And the last one, opportunity cost, all the things you could have been doing with your time if you weren't putting out fires. So, understanding the problem is one thing, but here's the kicker. There are some powerful external forces happening right now that are making this whole issue more urgent than it has ever been. Let's take a look at what's coming. First up, and this is a big one, get ready for the 2026 supply surge. A massive wave of new apartment completions is about to hit the market. That means your competition for good, reliable tenants is about to get incredibly fierce. Your current resident is going to have more shiny new options than ever before. Secondly, we've got something called the vendor labor gap. You know how hard it is to get a good contractor? Well, they're stretched thinner than ever. So if you have an unexpected turnover, you're not just finding a painter or a plumber, you are competing for one. And you better believe you're going to pay a steep emergency premium to get them. And you can really see the difference right here. This little bar on the left, that's what you should be paying for maintenance when you can plan for it. But this giant bar on the right, that's the emergency tax you pay when you're desperate and forced to react. That gap, that comes directly out of your profit. Now, for those of you who are investors, this next number, this is the one that should really make you sit up straight. A vacancy isn't just a monthly cash flow problem, it's an equity problem. Based on typical property valuations, every single $100 in lost monthly income can slash your property's value by as much as $20,000. It's a massive hit to your long-term wealth. And the pressure just keeps piling on. With more and more rent cap laws, you often can't just hike the rent on the next person to make up for your losses. And then there's your own time, what we call the CEO hour. A single turnover can easily suck up 20+ hours of your personal focus, and you have to ask yourself, is that really the highest and best use of your time? Okay, we have absolutely defined the problem and the urgency. So, what on earth is the solution? It all comes down to a fundamental shift in your mindset, moving away from just passively collecting rent to actively retaining your tenants. The real difference is right here, between these two columns. The old way, the passive collection mindset, it's all reactive. You wait for things to break, you wait for the lease to be up, and you just cross your fingers and hope they stay. The active retention approach is all about earning that renewal. You get ahead of their needs, you get ahead of the market, and you make staying the absolute easiest and best decision for them. And the heart of this entire strategy is the 90-day renewal window. At 90 days before their lease is up, you open what we call the proactive retention window. Because by 60 days, believe it or not, your tenant is already casually scrolling through listings. And if you wait until 30 days out to bring up renewal, it's pretty much too late. They've already mentally moved on. Think about it like this. At 90 days, you control the entire narrative. You are the first and maybe only conversation they're having about where they'll live next year. But at 30 days, you're just another voice in a crowded room competing against flashy ads for the new building down the street, screaming about 6 weeks free. Now, this strategy is powerful, for sure, but to really put it to work, you first have to know your own numbers. So let's talk about the tool that lets you quantify your own very specific daily bleed. I mean, this is the most important question for any operator, right? Where are my biggest leaks, and which one should I plug first to get the biggest bang for my buck? Guessing is not a strategy. You need data. And here's exactly how you get that data. It's a simple tool called the Chaos to Cashflow Calculator. Seriously, in about 5 to 8 minutes, you just answer some straightforward questions about your property and boom, the tool instantly analyzes everything and gives you a clear, prioritized list of what to fix. And this is not some vague, fluffy report. It gives you a specific dollar amount you can potentially get back every year. It ranks your top 3 chaos drivers, the exact things causing you the most financial pain, so you know where to start. And it gives you real, actionable steps, turning these invisible problems into a clear, manageable game plan. So, there you have it. We've gone from identifying this hidden, chaotic problem, the daily bleed, to uncovering a proactive strategy and a precision tool to fix it. This is literally how you take back control of your business's profitability. You know, the first step is always just awareness. So are you ready to stop guessing and actually turn that vague feeling of operational drag into a hard annual dollar figure? It really only takes a few minutes to get the kind of clarity that lets you make smarter, faster decisions. The power is completely in your hands now. You have the 90-day retention strategy, and you have a tool to diagnose your own unique situation. So the only real question left is, once you see the data, what's going to be the very first leak you decide to fix?
I've linked my free vacancy cost calculator in the pinned comment below so you can find your own daily bleed number today and take control of your retention strategy. If this math helped you, hit the like button and subscribe for more data-driven property management strategies. Chaos tamed, cash flow claimed.